The world is a vast, unexplored place, filled with secrets. From dense jungles to endless deserts, towering mountains to deep oceans, every corner holds unique mysteries and creatures, some almost mythical. Ancient tales of encounters with these beasts continue to captivate us. In this video, we'll explore some of the world's most intriguing mysteries. Number 20. Dragon caught flying over mountains in China. Dragons have always had a special place in the history and mythology of China. Long serpent-like dragons are often the subjects of art, films, and represented in celebrations. Dragon bones or fossils are used in homeopathic remedies. Some believe that dragons may have actually been dinosaurs that were able to escape extinction, and that perhaps those reptilian animals formed the legends of dragons. They might even be alive today. It's no surprise that China is the subject of many reported dragon sightings. But this sighting may surprise you. In this footage captured by a Chinese man, a dragon appears incredibly Western with its reptilian wings, short body, and hind legs. The creature appears to fly effortlessly over the mountains below. The area appears remote, so this may be the only footage of such a sighting. Number 19. Kongamato. The Kongamato is said to be a form of pterosaur that's been found all over Central and Southern Africa. An English explorer even claimed to have caught one way back in 1932. The beast fought him desperately and eventually broke free, but he was able to describe it quite vividly and brought the story back with him. It turns out that there had been previous stories that told of the same kind of creature that dated back centuries, although we suspect they probably date back much further than that based on the fact that the subject in question must undoubtedly be a throwback to dinosaurs. Whether you believe the stories or not, they've captured the attention of plenty of people, especially those who live in the areas where the Kongamato are supposed to roam. This flying dinosaur-like creature supposedly lives in relatively bleak and remote habitats, dwelling in rivers and swamps. It's said that they have a massive wingspan that's more like a reptile than a bird, covered in a kind of featherless skin. The same kind of creature is also known in other parts of Africa, although it goes by many different names, with some having distinct differences in appearance, suggesting that there could be plenty more hanging around the continent, lost for generations and just waiting to be rediscovered. People have reported wrangling with these beasts in recent years, although nobody in modern days has been able to catch one like in the stories that have been passed down to us. Some have even called the Kongamato a form of flying snake with a length from tip to tail of around 1.5 meters. It goes without saying that a creature this small could easily hide in Africa. Even though no confirmed sightings have been made since the 1930s, some people have claimed that they could have been driven to extinction or at least the very brink, either through being hunted for food or human encroachment into their traditional habitats. We are a little skeptical about these reports and aren't completely convinced that these creatures were ever hunted, but the stories tell us otherwise, and we're left having to believe that there's some sort of truth in them somewhere. Our doubts aren't shared by countless people all over Africa, however, who say that they know these creatures exist without a doubt. Number 18. The Montauk Monster. Cryptozoologist Loren Coleman invented the name Montauk Monster in 2008 in reaction to the mysterious and horrifying images of a carcass said to have washed onto the beach in Montauk, New York. The internet soon spawned flash urban legends so exaggerated that the popular debunking sites noped and dumped ice water on the findings. But for eyewitnesses, the beast was no tall tale. The photographer Jenna Hewitt described the frantic reactions of onlookers who thought that the animal might be supernatural or freakishly deformed. Some scientists attempted to dismiss the photographs, but soon other sightings of eerily similar deformed remains would take place as far west as Santa Barbara. Number 17. Mermaids. There have been stories passed down throughout the ages of mermaids that actually live in African lakes and rivers instead of dwelling in the oceans like the rest of their kin. These specialized mermaids are quite territorial, and their demeanor can vary from one to the other. Some are said to be vicious, hating humans and lashing out with surprising speed, while others have been known to help people in their travels, providing aid and advice. Zimbabwe probably features the most prolific and widespread stories regarding mermaids, with some locals having claimed to have captured mermaids in the past. They're quite rare these days and aren't seen very often, especially with many of their habitats being taken over and dedicated to human use. Despite the facts, they prefer to retreat further into more uninhabitable locations, surviving in whatever bodies of water they can. Those found in Zimbabwe are known as the Mondeo, and it's probably a good thing they're getting forced out of areas where humans live because they're known to be especially violent, routinely drowning swimmers if they're able to do so. Dam workers once refused to continue any sort of construction because mermaids were busy fending them off, with a few attacks reported. The creatures were eventually persuaded to leave after a government official arrived and offered them a gift of traditional beer. South Africa also has a long history of mermaid sightings, and there have been many legends talking of people engaging with them, either to hunt or chat with, based on varying accounts. One group who traditionally lived in and around the desert, funnily enough, tell of a group of mermaids, although many say that they had only heard about them from wandering travelers. South Africa has so many lush areas with mountain streams becoming homes for another group of mermaids who, much like those in Zimbabwe, are known to drown their victims. Although this group is supposed to take things further and actually actively lure their victims into the water and into letting their guard down, which is absolutely premeditated as far as we're concerned. These stories have withered away in recent years, but if you believe them, it seems that Africa has been the scene of a great human-mermaid war that's potentially been raging since the very dawn of mankind. Could be that the stories have mistakenly labeled crocs as mermaids through ignorance, but that's a pretty big mistake to make. Number 16. Sea serpent in Alaska. Fear of the water and the monsters that may dwell within it is a cultural universal that transcends time. We may fear sharks or jellyfish now, but it was sea serpents that our ancestors feared. They told tales of giant snake-like dragons capable of killing people, destroying ships, or even totaling entire towns. While today we believe that any number of possible creatures might be responsible for the sea serpent myth, including oarfish, sperm whales, or sharks, could it be possible that sea serpents as they were believed to have existed actually may have? Sightings of sea serpents have continued to this day, and some claim to have evidence of these monsters. This video captured by the United States Bureau of Land Management captures what seems to be one large serpent in the icy waters of Alaska. Now it's time for today's topic. A bizarre creature appeared in South Africa years ago, sparking widespread confusion and panic. The creature was emaciated, dried up, and had a humanoid appearance with outstretched arms and teeth resembling those of humans. Its discovery led to wild theories, with some locals fearing curses or alien invasions. The creature was found by National Park Ranger Llewellyn Dixon. Photos of the discovery went viral, fueling speculation and sensational claims. Its otherworldly appearance made it easy to believe it was something extraordinary, perhaps even extraterrestrial. However, after a thorough examination by a local vet, the truth was revealed. The creature was not an alien but a misshapen baboon. When a young baboon dies, its mother may carry the body for an extended period, causing it to stretch and deform into an eerie, alien-like form. While this explanation disappointed alien enthusiasts, it highlighted the strange and often unsettling realities of nature. The viral photo continues to circulate, with some still convinced it's an unknown species. Others have even questioned the vet's findings, claiming a cover-up, though experts have repeatedly confirmed the baboon explanation. This story serves as a reminder of how easily the internet can amplify speculation before the full truth is known. While the creature's origins are now clear, its unsettling appearance remains a fascinating and mysterious chapter in the annals of strange discoveries. Number 15. In Kanyamba. This family of legendary serpents describes massive slithering reptiles that can swallow a fully grown person whole without ever missing a beat. These creatures are feared throughout Africa and have been for many generations. The stories have morphed these gigantic snakes into something out of mythology, saying they have the head of a horse instead of that of a snake. We assume that they could be talking about a previously undiscovered species of snake with a particularly strange-looking head that grows to unfathomable lengths. Many people even today claim to have caught glimpses of this legendary man-eater, with all sorts of shaky evidence popping up to show in Kanyamba that have been killed by hunters. These photos aren't necessarily real, but it goes without saying that the legends have to be based on something. With so much of Africa's interior jungles being unmapped and unknown to modern people, there's plenty of space for a species like this to survive and possibly even thrive in some far-flung spot in a dense jungle in the middle of nowhere without anyone ever being the wiser. Tribespeople still pass down the old stories, and the fear of attack is still very real in many places, with some people constantly on the lookout for the legendary in Kanyamba. Some stories even say that these beasts can control the weather. While we think that's all a little too superstitious, there are plenty of large monstrous snakes and eels that live all over South Africa, and it isn't too much of a stretch to think that people back in the day did have to contend with a particular species that outgrew and outmatched them all. It's been proven that a lot of these legends are passed down from all over the world, being morphed over the years into tall tales that speak of magic monsters. But this is one that we really wish wasn't a plausible outcome because the idea of a snake that dwarfed a school bus would haunt our dreams forever. Number 14. The New Jersey Devil. When you think of the New Jersey Devils, you might think of heroics on the rink or the occultist face paint of the team's fans, which inspired a hilarious parody in the television show Seinfeld. But did you know that the New Jersey Devil's nickname was coined after a fabled satanic monster in the northeastern forest? Over a century's worth of local eyewitnesses have described an evil red glowing creature known as the Jersey Devil, a flying kangaroo-like animal with a head like a goat. This sky-sailing beast is said to have giant bat-like wings, clawed hands, cloven hooves, and a forked tail. Witnesses have said that the Jersey Devil is immensely quick and sounds a blood-curdling scream as it descends upon its prey. Number 13. Bahali. The Bahali comes out of Liberia, and many enthusiasts have gone out searching for a live specimen in recent years. This beast is basically an enormous crocodile that's been known to terrorize riverside communities for generations. Some evidence has even been presented to support the claims that such a creature is, in fact, real, with plenty of people offering proof of their catches by posting images online. We have to admit that none of these are conclusive proof, as the carcasses, interestingly, have never been officially examined in any of these cases. We're running with the unsubstantiated reports in this case, however, because the Bahali, if they are real, would be terrifying creatures that are quite baffling in appearance. Based on what little we know about them, they seem to walk on all fours that are angled further toward its body than today's crocs, looking like little dinosaurs. They're not quite so little by today's standards, however, with smaller specimens reaching the same length as a fully grown crocodile and adults being said to hit 30 feet. Given the fact that they're so elusive, we think that estimate could be a little much, but we're still convinced that it would be plausible to miss something even at that size with all the unexplored and uninhabitable space, which basically makes up most of Africa. This creature is unsurprisingly a carnivore, and stories of ancient people wrangling with them are abundant, with most fights ending up with the Bahali coming out on top. We really don't know exactly what to make of such a strange and mysterious creature. It would be nice if someone who was able to submit a photo was also able to produce the actual body for inspection, but we'll just have to wait for that for now. Number 12. Skinwalker. Historically, skinwalkers were a sacred part of Navajo lore. Skinwalkers were believed to be powerful witches who could transform into animals and people. Some people believe that the Wendigo, a Canadian cryptid and creature of lore, may be one famous example of a skinwalker that transcends cultural boundaries due to its strange human yet animal-like appearance. With the age of the internet, other reports of skinwalkers have been made. Skinwalkers are believed to want to harm people and will steal the appearance of campers or hikers in order to get into their group. These photos captured by the Reddit user KinkyPikia may be the only physical evidence of these strange monsters. Number 11. Sushikiwarashi yokai. Yokai are the demons of Japanese folklore. Yokai in Japanese means bewitching, attractive, calamity, specter, apparition, mystery, and suspicious. While you may be familiar with the concept of yokai from the video game Yokai Watch, yokai have traditionally been much more terrifying and troublesome in Japanese folklore. Yokai began as early animist spirits in Japanese culture, which were believed to be responsible for a number of minor nuisances or accidents. Yokai are often considered to be ghost-like spirits with the intent of scaring or harming their victims. One such yokai, Sushikiwarashi, is a childlike spirit that haunts homes. Sushikiwarashi is said to inhabit every house and frightens or annoys its inhabitants by running through the house at night, making noise, or moving objects. This video may capture the spirit. Number 10. Krakens spotted off Antarctica in Google Maps. The Kraken is a giant sea monster of Norwegian lore that has become one of the most prominent mythical figures thanks to appearances in films such as Clash of the Titans and Pirates of the Caribbean. The Kraken is said to be a giant octopus or squid and is believed to be a monstrously sized cryptid with the size and power to destroy or even swallow entire ships. In recent years, scientists have believed that rare and elusive giant squid may be responsible for the myth of the Kraken due to their immense size, believed to be as big as 15 or even 20 meters. While it's simple to assume that ancient fishermen who spent their entire lives near or on the sea were so naive as to confuse a 15-meter squid with a 16-kilometer island, it may be possible that the Kraken may have just been lost in time. This image taken by Google Maps seems to identify a large island-sized squid or octopus breaching in the waters of Antarctica. Number 9. Humanoid gray alien caught on camera in cemetery. This video allegedly shows a gray-like alien skulking in a graveyard. The camera slowly pans, and the creature can be seen in the background if you look closely. According to the owner of the tape, the footage had been taken 10 years before they went public with it, but had only recently discovered the creature hiding within. The creature matches the description of a gray alien with its bulbous head, black eyes, and emaciated figure. But there's one other, even more disturbing possible explanation for the creature in the graveyard. Ghouls. Ghouls are black or gray evil spirits that haunt graveyards, consuming the flesh or blood of the dead. Reports of ghouls go back millennia, but like Disney, the first recorded video evidence. Number 8. Electric blue humanoid. This strange humanoid was captured on video in Peru by a man named Anthony Choi. The strange creature almost has the profile of a person with their arms crossed, as if they were trapped in a straitjacket, and seems to float effortlessly as they kneel or sit with their legs crossed. As Choi approaches the creature, It seems to fade further and further away, crossing into the road and through the path of several incoming semi-trucks. It stops in place and seems to phase out of reality when a truck passes through it, leaving only questions behind. What was it? How did it get there? Was it an extra-dimensional beam of pure energy, a traveler of time and space, or something else? Number 7. Strange creature caught on Russian military CCTV. Military installations and secret government facilities go hand in hand with sightings of the unknown. This footage of a mysterious installation in Russia shows a strange humanoid creature seemingly perched on the high concrete perimeter walls. While the creature is bipedal, its shape looks possibly animal and maybe even rodent-like due to its posture and shape. Its shape may be the result of strange loose-fitting clothing, and it may also be an old hanger, the Baba Yaga, a terrifying old woman from Slavic folklore that consumes people. When the creature descends from the wall and disappears into thin air, it even seems to scare off another strange cryptid that had been hiding just below the camera. Number 6. Reptilian humanoid captured on video in Australian cave. Caves have always been the subject of human spirituality and religion and connected to the course of evolution of man. Caves used to serve as home, church, and all-in-one for humans, and some religions and cultures propose that humans actually came forth from the ground through caves at some point. However, we stopped living in caves and became afraid of them. Caves stopped being our homes and became portals to other darker worlds. While anthropologists and archaeologists have not been able to tell us why, some have proposed a simple conclusion: because they are. In this video, cave explorers capture a human-like creature climbing the walls of the cave. The creature's movements were eerily silent, its scaly skin glinting faintly in the dim light of the explorers' torches. Witnesses described its eyes as slitted and glowing, reminiscent of a reptile's, but with an unsettling intelligence behind them. The creature's long, clawed fingers dug into the rock with ease, as if the cave walls were no more than soft clay. One explorer claimed to hear a low, guttural hiss emanating from the creature, sending chills through the entire group. The air in the cave grew colder, and a strange, metallic smell filled the space, adding to the sense of unease. Some speculated that the creature could be a guardian of the cave, protecting ancient secrets buried deep within the earth. Others believed it might be a remnant of an ancient civilization, one that evolved in isolation underground. The explorers' footage has sparked debates among cryptozoologists, with some calling it the most compelling evidence of reptilian humanoids. Despite the excitement, skeptics argue it could be a trick of the light or a hoax, though the explorers insist the encounter was real. According to Nick Maliki, the hunter who captured the footage, the creature was a Nephilim, commonly known as a reptilian, and stood over 10 feet tall. Number 5. The Flathead Lake Monster. At the southern tip of the Rocky Mountain Trench lies idyllic Flathead Lake of Montana, known as the largest freshwater lake in the western United States. But swimming ominously in its depths is said to be a 20 to 40-foot killer known as the Flathead Lake Monster. Described chillingly by eyewitnesses as long ago as the 19th century, this live-action recreation by Destination America is one of the river inlets, Flathead, and documents a married couple's first-hand encounter with a serpent-like creature similar in size and appearance to the Loch Ness Monster. The couple described the creature as moving with incredible speed, its massive body creating ripples that rocked their small boat. Fishermen in the area have reported strange disturbances in the water, with some claiming their nets were torn apart by an unseen force. One local legend tells of a group of campers who saw the creature rise from the lake, its blackish eyes gleaming in the moonlight before it disappeared beneath the surface. Scientists have speculated that the monster could be a surviving plesiosaur, a prehistoric marine reptile thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago. Others believe it might be a giant sturgeon, though its reported size far exceeds any known species. The creature's presence has become a source of both fear and fascination, drawing cryptozoologists and curious tourists to the lake. Some residents swear by its existence, recounting stories passed down through generations of terrifying encounters. Despite numerous expeditions, no definitive evidence has been found, leaving the mystery of the Flathead Lake Monster unsolved. The Flathead Monster is said to be a dark eel-like leviathan with blackish eyes. One of the most recent sightings occurred in 1993 in an area known as Big Arm Bay, causing many recent boaters to arm themselves big time before venturing into its murky waters. Number 4. Flying creature in Pennsylvania. This video captures what appears to be a reptilian flying creature in the skies of Pennsylvania. The creature, which appears to be a dragon or, as some have suggested, a pterodactyl, flies near the heavy gray clouds on an overcast day. While the creature easily blends into the skyline, we can make out some features. Its wings are large and pointed, it has a small round body, and a long slender tail that trails out behind it. Witnesses described the creature's wingspan as enormous, stretching nearly 20 feet across, casting a shadow over the ground below. Its movements were fluid and deliberate, as if it were scanning the landscape for something. Some onlookers reported hearing a low, rumbling growl that seemed to echo through the air, sending chills down their spines. The creature's scales appeared to shimmer faintly, reflecting what little light pierced through the dense clouds. One observer claimed to have seen it dive suddenly, only to reappear moments later with what looked like prey clutched in its talons. The sighting left many wondering if this could be a surviving relic from the age of dinosaurs, hidden away in the remote wilderness of Pennsylvania. Others speculated it might be a cryptid, a creature of legend that has evaded human discovery for centuries. The video has sparked debates among cryptozoologists, with some calling it the most compelling evidence of a living pterosaur. Despite the excitement, skeptics argue it could be a misidentified bird or even a drone, though the creature's movements defy such explanations. This is the only known video of this sighting and, perhaps due to the unfavorable dark windy conditions, the only sighting of the creature on this day. Number 3. Flying humanoid in Turkey. This CCTV captured in Turkey shows a strange small humanoid figure walking up and down an empty street at night. At first, the creature might be mistaken for a child due to its small stature and humanoid silhouette, though upon closer inspection, it appears as if it may be even smaller than a child, perhaps even the size of a newborn or a small animal. The figure's movements were eerily smooth, almost as if it were gliding rather than walking. Witnesses reported a faint, glowing aura surrounding the creature, casting an otherworldly light on the pavement. Some claimed to hear a soft, melodic humming sound as it moved, adding to the surreal atmosphere. The creature's face was obscured, but its elongated limbs and unnatural proportions suggested it was far from human. One observer described it as having translucent skin, through which faint veins or energy lines could be seen. The figure paused briefly, as if sensing it was being watched, before continuing its strange journey. Locals speculated that it could be a spirit from ancient Anatolian legends, returning to the mortal realm. Others believed it might be an extraterrestrial being, exploring the streets of Turkey under the cover of darkness. The creature's ability to defy gravity left even skeptics questioning their understanding of reality. Then, effortlessly, it takes a step off the ground and floats into the air. It flies off-screen for a few seconds and then returns to the ground below, walking across the street. What could the origin of this strange creature be? Could it be a ghost, fairy, or perhaps a jinn of Islamic folklore? In a country as old as Turkey, anything is possible. Number 2. Lizard Man. In 1988, the Lee County Sheriff's Office of South Carolina was called to the scene of a bizarre automobile destruction in a nearby rural locale. Wires from the motor of the car had been torn apart, the hood ornament broken off, the sidewalls maimed. Even scarier, the demolished fenders appeared to have bite marks, as if a super powerful animal had chewed and spat out the metal. Reddish hair and muddy footprints dotted the vehicle. Locals reported hearing guttural growls and seeing glowing red eyes in the darkness near the swamp. One witness claimed to have seen the creature scaling a tree with incredible speed, its claws digging deep into the bark. Another described it as having scaly skin that shimmered faintly under the moonlight, giving it an almost reptilian appearance. Farmers in the area began finding their livestock mutilated, with deep claw marks and strange, unidentifiable tracks leading away from the scenes. Some residents even claimed to have seen the creature drinking from the swamp, its long, forked tongue flicking out to taste the water. The sighting sparked widespread panic, with many families refusing to leave their homes after dark. Schools in the area implemented safety measures, and local authorities urged caution. Police soon learned that residents had been encountering a 7-foot-tall greenish-brown mutated creature that they called Lizard Man. Upon investigation, more evidence of the horrific animal was discovered near scape or swamp, including gigantic 3-toed footprints that biologists deemed unclassifiable. This shadowy footage, uploaded by YouTube user Encounters26, is a terrifying glimpse at what may be the true nature of the gangly destructive beast. Number 1. Flying humanoid caught in Peru. This footage allegedly captures what appears to be a human-like being floating or flying above a city in Peru. The footage was captured by Cesar Rodriguez, a video producer in Puerto Maldonado. The footage was uploaded by Anthony Choi, a Peruvian-based ufologist and journalist, lending to its credibility. The strange figure appears to be wearing either a cape or perhaps robes as it floats above the city. Witnesses described the figure as glowing faintly, with an otherworldly aura that seemed to defy gravity. Some speculated it could be an extraterrestrial visitor, while others believed it might be a supernatural entity from local folklore. The figure moved with an eerie grace, as if it were completely unaffected by the wind or the laws of physics. Spectators were both mesmerized and terrified, unsure whether to approach or flee. One onlooker claimed the figure emitted a soft humming sound, adding to the mystery. Another reported feeling an inexplicable sense of calm despite the bizarre sighting. The figure's movements were deliberate, as if it were observing the city below with a purpose. There's yelling as spectators point to the figure in the sky above. After a few minutes, the figure flies off into the clouds, and we lose sight of it. This is the only known footage of the sighting. Which of these mysterious creatures intrigues you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to check out our other exciting content popping up on your screen right now. See you next time.